What's up, good people? Make this short. What I want to talk about, obviously, when he's not ready for a relationship. I hear this, read it. I'm sure you've all experienced it, where there's a conversation about when a young lady's dating a guy, and the guy is honest. And he tells her that he's not ready for a relationship. Sounds like a good thing, but is it? I'll give you an example. Let's say that you're in the market for a job and you go off looking for work, and you contact her, or actually nobody does this anymore. You don't go into business, let's just say you do. You go into a business of interest and you inquire about a job, and they tell you that we're currently not hiring. Now, once you hear that they're not hiring, what happens after that is, well, I'll tell you, here's what doesn't happen. After they tell you we're currently not hiring, you don't show up Monday and then work 40 hours expecting not to get paid. You don't show up at all because they told you that we're not hiring. Now, why did I mention that? The reason I mention that, because it sounds very similar to a man telling a woman he's not ready for a relationship. Here's what the difference is, though. What should happen when a man says that he's not ready for a relationship, he should not be involved with that woman at all. Just like when you go to that job, that potential employer, and you inquire about employment, and they say, we're not hiring. You leave and you go somewhere else. That's the same thing that should happen when a guy says that I'm not interested in a relationship. What I call that is, and actually it's in one of my books, I call that the disclaimer. What happens, the guy says I'm not interested in a relationship, or actually sometimes they'll say a serious relationship, which means actually I am interested in a relationship. And more importantly, what it really means is I'm giving you fair warning that I'm not ready for a relationship. Well, really, it's not ready for a relationship, because if you have any involvement with a person, it's a relationship. It's a relationship. What he's saying to you is, I'm not willing to be accountable. And he's giving you notice, or the disclaimer as I call it, to let you know up front what you can expect. And it would be just like going to the job that I mentioned. They say that we're not hiring. You show up, you work 40 hours, and they don't pay you. So you go through all of the same thing that you would go through if you actually were an employee, which is what you end up doing in these relationships. You go through all of the stuff that you go through in a relationship. You go out with the person, you get emotionally involved, you sleep with the person, all of this kind of stuff. So it looks and functions exactly like the relationship that he's saying that he's not ready for. But again, the disclaimer is to give you that notice so that he's not accountable for the damage that's done to you. He's not accountable for your emotions. He's not accountable for how you feel, the pain or anything that you might experience, because he's told you, I'm not ready for a relationship. So what should happen when a guy tells you he's not ready for a relationship, and you are ready for a relationship, which is why you're dating in the first place, then you should move on. You should move on. What you should not do is what I hear too is, oh, at least he was honest. First of all, there's no benefit, and nobody should be given any type of accolade for being honest about something that's dishonorable. And let me also add that inherent in the word honest or honesty is honor. There's no honor in a man telling you that essentially what he's telling you is, I'm willing to take part in a relationship with you without any accountability. So we can have this relationship, but I'm not looking for anything serious. It could be a whole, I'm going to leave it there. I think you get the point. There's no honor in that. There's honor when a person says, look, I'm not ready for a relationship. Whatever their reason is. They're not ready for a relationship because they're pursuing school, a career, or they're just not ready for a relationship. They just ended one, whatever. There's honor when a man says that to a woman. He tells her that he's not ready for a relationship and he does not pursue one with her. He does not pursue one. But to pursue a relationship and to take advantage of all that comes with that type of relationship, and then basically tell the woman that I'm not going to be accountable for what may happen to you because you're emotionally involved with you. How are you involved with somebody and you're not, there is no emotional connection? There's something wrong with you if there's not. We typically don't spend time with people that we have no interest in. If you're spending time with somebody, then typically there's an interest and you develop feelings, you develop emotions, which means that you're in position to be hurt. Nobody wants to be hurt. All right? So move on. Let that be your exit. Thank you for giving me that information. Thank you for letting me know that you aren't ready for a relationship. I appreciate it. That should be the end of it. That should be the end of it. All right? That's it. If you like what you heard, there'll be more. Subscribe. Follow me on social media. You can find me anywhere on social media, just like here, / Derek Q. Sanders. All right?